What's up guys, it's Maverick and welcome back to another staff series tips and tricks video. So pretty much in the last one I went over like how to apply for staff and literally how to get staff on any server. That's going to be linked in the description. I don't know how valid all of that is actually going to be because it was a long time ago I made that. I think it must have been over a year ago or so now. So I don't know how valid it will be. However, some of the stuff in there should still be accurate. I'm hoping so. So you guys can always check that out. If I need to make an updated one, just let me know in the comments. But in this one, I'm pretty much just going to be going over different like tips and stuff for you guys to pretty much become a better staff member. If you're already an experienced staff member, these tips are probably stuff that you already know or stuff that you don't need to hear. So this is more for like beginner people who are like just learning how to become staff and are wanting to get into staffing. But there may be some things for experienced people that they might just like re-jog your memory or things that you might not think about or forget about. So I'm just going to pretty much get into it. I don't really know the best way to structure this video, so I'm pretty much just going to go over all the points I have. I literally have like pieces of paper and everything with all the different points that I want to cover. So I'm literally just going to do it as just like 1 tip, 2 tip, 3 tip, and just go over the different things that you guys should definitely know about when it comes to being a staff member on a server. Okay, so one big thing I've realized about new staff members when they come in, they're always not confident. So the one thing is, be as confident as you can. Like when you move someone in a support room, don't be scared to talk to them. I realize this even with like experienced staff, a lot of these people, like when you get moved in a support room, how many times have you guys, like just as a regular player, have had a staff member where they're like, how can I help you? Like, don't mumble into your mic, alright? That's one thing, just speak. Alright, I know some people obviously have monotone voices and everything. I'm not saying you have to speak with energy, speak with excitement, but just speak like a normal person, you know? You don't need to mumble into your mic. I understand it might be late, 4 in the morning, then obviously speak quieter, but don't mumble into your mic. Just speak clearly so the players can understand you. They actually just feel like they're speaking to another person. Don't mumble into the mic. That's one thing that I think is very important as a new staff member and just as a staff member in general, just because it makes you seem a lot more professional and actually seems like you want to be there rather than just not wanting to be there, because you have to remember being staff is completely voluntary and is by choice. Okay, this next point, this is one of my biggest pet peeves and something that even experienced staff members still don't seem to understand. When you get staff on a server, or when you're staff on a server, if someone is in a support room, or if someone's in a different channel and you want to ask for their help, or you just want to go speak to them and you join their channel, if they're helping someone, when you join their channel, do not start speaking straight away. Wait a couple minutes, a couple seconds, and make sure that person who they're helping is either done helping with, or wait until that staff member asks you what like you need. Don't just join the channel and start speaking. That is the worst thing you can literally do. If you guys don't know what I mean, let's say I'm helping Bob, alright? I'm in a support room with Bob. And let's say Christopher, the other staff member, joins and goes, "Hey Maverick," don't do that. So what you should do is, if me and Bob are in the support room and I'm helping Bob, Christopher over here should connect to the channel and just wait. Wait until I say, "Hey Christopher, what's wrong?" Or wait until Bob is gone and Christopher can be like, "Hey Maverick, sorry to interrupt you, but can I ask you something?" After I'm done helping Bob, alright? Make sure Bob is out of the equation. Make sure that you have like a place to talk. Don't just join and automatically think you can start talking over anyone, because that is the worst thing you can do. It's extremely unprofessional, and a lot of servers don't actually allow it. It just doesn't really get reported properly because it's one of those things that so many people do, including experienced staff members, and it's the most triggering and annoying thing you can do. As like a general rule, if you're new on a server, what you should do is when you're learning the staff guide, always just keep it open on your computer. If you're in TeamSpeak, just have the staff guide open. Even if you are being a staff member for a long time, if you still don't know all the rules like I don't, just keep the staff guide open, because it always means you can always refer back to it, you can always double check it, and there's literally no reason not to have it open, because it means that you don't need to go waste your time if you don't know one of the rules to go and look for the staff guide, because you already have it open, you're already prepared. So that's just one thing I'd recommend doing, is just if you have 2 screens, put it on your second screen. If you don't, just obviously keep it on your main screen and just keep it open in a tab, and that will make your life a whole lot easier. But definitely as a new staff member, do your best to memorize the staff guide, because it will help you so unbelievably much. And it's one of those things that the more and more you do support rooms, you'll just start to pick up the staff guide, because you'll be hearing the same questions over and over and over, so you'll just end up learning it as time goes by. But do your best to memorize it when you first get it, but most of the learning will come with just doing support rooms and just using the guide in general. Another common thing that I also got asked in my last video was, how do you gain experience as a staff member without being staff on a server? Now that's a little bit of a tricky one, but a couple things you can do is you can watch videos like this, you can watch staff series videos, because some do have like a lot of like good information that you can actually learn from. Watching things like screen shares, all that sort of stuff is all the ways for you to start gaining experience. And another thing, if you really want to try get used to doing things, is you could literally set up your own server, put plugins and stuff on that server, and literally just play around with the different commands that you put on it. Obviously all servers have different commands, but it just means you can get like that little head start of like knowing how all the commands work. So when you get into that position of hopefully being a staff member, you'll know how the commands work. Most of them are really simple, but it can just give you that little bit ahead of the curve sort of knowledge. For the most part, the only way and the best way to get experience as a staff member is literally just to keep applying until you get one of those staff roles, and it means you can start learning from there. Because the best way, just with life in general, the best way to learn is literally by just doing things and just jumping into the deep end. But that is like 2 little things you can start doing to hopefully gain yourself that bit more experience and give yourself that more like confidence with using like these new undiscovered commands that you might have not had before. This is another big sort of one, and especially if you're on like a bigger server, even on small servers as well, and most servers have this rule, but just as like a thing that you guys might not realize, don't fanboy YouTubers. Alright, YouTubers are normal people, they're no different from you, all they have is a YouTube channel and they just make videos. Just because they have fans, subscribers, popularity, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. They are just normal people, okay? They're not robots, they're not any different to how you are as a person. They're not cooler, they're not anything more. They're literally the same. Don't fanboy them, especially if you're a staff member, because when you start fanboying YouTubers, it makes the server look unprofessional. You do not fanboy YouTubers. It is okay to be like, hey, I like your videos and stuff like that, but you have to remember there's a time and a place for that. Don't be saying, hey, I like your videos in chat, in public chat or anything. Don't be saying it in staff chat. Don't be saying any of the stuff like that. I could probably go into more detail about that, but I would say there's sort of like a treading line of like fanboying and just in like trying to show your appreciation, which I would admit it can be hard to tread the line on that. So I'm not going to get into it fully right now, but I'm just going to say as like a general rule of thumb, don't fanboy YouTubers. It's not a good look for the server. Another thing is, when you first get staff, it's like kind of scary because you realize that you've just been thrown into this big sort of staff team and you don't know anyone. So the best thing you can really do is just start making friends with all the new helpers. If there's not new helpers, just find like a staff member and just try start talking to the staff. Just literally get yourself involved with the staff like team community or whatever you want to call it, because that will seriously help motivate you and just make you want to stay a staff, because there's nothing worse than getting staff on a server and having no friends. And I've done that many times because I've been staff on so many different servers. The best thing you can do for yourself is literally just start making friends, to start talking to other staff members, because it'll make your job a lot funner first of all, and it means you have like more people to talk to, which is always a good thing. It's always fun. If you're like staff with another helper, you guys can literally help each other. Like, it's just like having like a gym buddy. It means that you have someone to show you around, or not even show you around, just start learning all the new things with, and you guys can literally just talk about all your little troubles, all the different things going on together. So definitely find someone, because it can help motivate you, and can also like help gain you experience. Another thing is, if your staff team uses things like Telegram, don't give staff telegrams to players or just anyone. Don't leak other staff members' telegrams unless that person says, hey, you can give this player my telegram, then do it. But don't go out your way and just do it just because a player's asking for it. Always make sure that person is okay with you giving out their telegram. Obviously, it's a somewhat public thing. Like, tons of people end up finding my telegram and stuff. But, like, as like another rule of thumb is, don't give out someone's telegram unless that staff member specifically tells you give their telegram to that player. Otherwise, you're just creating issues for that staff member, as that player will start spamming that person, and that can be very annoying. So do not give out people's telegrams unless you have permission. This is another very simple and easy one to remember. Just be professional. Don't act like a child. Like, it's really not that hard. I don't think I need to explain that one. Just don't act like a little kid. Don't go screaming. Don't be making the server look unprofessional. Just be as professional as you can, because at the end of the day, you are representing the server, and that is something that people do forget. So just be as professional as you can. That doesn't mean you have to go up and wear your suit and tie when you play or anything, but just act mature and act appropriately, because obviously these players, they're looking for your help. So don't act like a kid. Don't be like screaming at them or just being like a kid in general or anything. Just act mature and act professional. And also, just have fun. That's another thing. Have fun, because staffing should be fun. Another thing that's a big thing for new staff members, and this is something that I had especially when I was first staff on Koi, is don't be scared to ask for people's help. There's no reason for you to be scared to ask for help off of another staff member. Even experienced staff members still get this like issue where you feel like you should know these certain things, so you don't want to ask for help. That's stupid. Ask for help. No one knows everything and everyone's still learning. And guess what? You also forget. The amount of things that I should know that I forget is absolutely insane. So just ask for help. There's no shame in it. There's no reason not to. All it will do, it will just help you out in the long run and help you out in the short term in every way. Because there's literally no reason not to. You shouldn't be embarrassed about it. And plus, once you get told it, it means that you know it, so you don't have to keep asking for help. And if you keep forgetting something, also just don't be scared to ask for help. Once again, like, I forget things, the same thing over and over and over. The amount of commands that I forget or I start typing wrong is absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? If I ever forget, even though I should know it, I still ask for help because there's no shame in it. Another thing to remember is, as a staff member, when you're helping a player, the player does come first. Sadly, they can be super toxic. The best thing to do in that sort of situation is just be as calm and nice as possible and understanding. Because you have to remember, they're coming at from like a more angry perspective, especially if they died to like a hacker or something. They're going to be heated, and you have to remember that's the reason why they're angry. They're not specifically angry at you. You just have to do your best to talk to them and just say, hey, this is my situation. If you don't have proof, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not allowed, blah, 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 blah. And just do your best to try calm the situation. If they stay just being extremely toxic and extremely mean, you can just kick them out of the channel. You don't have to deal with extremely toxic people. Obviously, if they're being a little bit toxic, probably don't kick them out. Just try understanding the reasoning and try your best to help them. But if they're just constantly coming at you, swearing at you, being, let's say, racist or anything, get them out there. You don't need to deal with that. Tell admin to ban them. Obviously, that's more extreme cases, getting an admin to ban them off of the teams. But yeah, just do your best to be understanding and putting their needs first. And another thing is once you become staff, it's very easy to become caught up on only staffing, but I'd recommend finding the balance of just playing the game in general as well as being a staff member, because the thing is, you don't want to burn yourself out. I've burnt myself out of being staff. I remember at times I just didn't want to staff anymore and I nearly resigned from different servers, but after taking like little breaks and stuff, it made me realize that I didn't actually want to like resign and I would stay. So I would say definitely find the balance of just playing the game or enjoying other games as well as staffing, because it can become really frustrating, especially if you're working hard for a promotion. And that leads me to another thing: never ask to get promoted. Never ask when promotions are. Just let those things happen. All you can do is just work hard and grind away and do your best as a staff member, and don't worry about what other people are doing better than you. The only thing you should be worrying about is how can you improve yourself and what you can do to be a better staff member. Okay, guys, I think that is all the points I have for today. I want to thank some of the faithful staff members because they also gave me some of the tips to put into this video. I didn't think of all these by myself. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll do my best to reply to everyone's comments about any like queries or anything you guys have. If you guys want to see a third staff series tips and tricks, let me know what you want it to be about. If you want me to go in more detail about certain subjects. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I hope you guys, most importantly, learned something from this. It was more of like a ramble of like point, but I just didn't know how to structure it, and I just wanted to get some of these points across because a lot of people do ask me for these kind of things, so that's why I'm giving you it. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope that you guys learned something, and yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.